What happens when Ari Aster takes the chaos of 2020, lockdowns, conspiracy theories, protests, and political meltdowns, and funnels it all into one small New Mexico town? You get Edington, a bleak, violent, and often absurd look at America's pandemic paranoia. It's shocking, it's bizarre, and it might just be Ari Aster's most divisive film yet. Hey everyone, welcome back to Atomic Cult Media, where we break down movies that confuse us, disturb us, and maybe both. And today we're diving into Edington, Astor's newest project after Hereditary, Midsommar, and the love it or hate it Beau Is Afraid. In Edington, the story centers on a small town in New Mexico during the pandemic. Mayor Ted Garcia is enforcing strict mandates while Sheriff Joe Cross pushes back against him. That conflict bleeds into politics, family drama, and eventually into chaos as paranoia, conspiracies, and power struggles spiral out of control. The film blends personal breakdowns with wider social unrest, cult leaders, political campaigns, protest movements, and sudden eruptions of violence all collide. Ari Aster uses Edington as a microcosm of America in crisis, painting a picture of fear, manipulation, and desperation in a time when truth itself felt fragile. So I think, personally, Ari Aster is kind of going off the wall after Hereditary. I thought Midsommar was okay. I think it was like just too derivative of The Wicker Man. Which I guess you could say about Hereditary too. Mainly Rosemary's Baby, but I never really watched Rosemary's Baby. It's a blind spot, so it didn't really affect me that much. But I loved Hereditary. It's like one of my favorite movies from last decade. And I didn't have much interest in seeing Beau Is Afraid. I think reviews kind of put me off of it, and this is before I started doing reviews on here. But here's Edington about the controversies of the COVID pandemic. So I actually gave this one a shot, and let's see how that panned out. As I always do, I'll start with the good, which, he captured a lot of the absurdities of the pandemic life, and they're captured well. Mass, online rants, and the awkwardness of Zoom funerals, but that is also one of my complaints as well, which I'll go into later. And there's some things that actually kind of got my attention, kind of rocked me, like there's some shocking violence, in a good way. Just moments where you don't really expect it to happen, and those surprises actually do land. But overall, it feels like Ari Aster just grabbed a bunch of headlines from the time, threw them into ChatGPT, and told it to give him a movie outline for some violent small town drama, sort of comedy, I guess. And then he wrote a script from that outline with all his Ari Asterness to it. Because this seems to grab every aspect and high-profile incident during the 2020 lockdowns with no real clear thought put into it. I'm just really disappointed because this whole movie, it's challenging to take this on, especially so soon after it happened, because we still really haven't dealt with it as a society, really, or American culture. But it's just really just surface level takes on what happened during that time. And maybe it is a too soon thing. There's not much here. Like, it's just all pretty dragged out and sort of pretentious. Like, it thinks it's smarter and more clever than it actually is. And that's what really bugs me about this. There's no real clever takes or even style. It takes place in a small town with hardly anyone in it. There's not much personality or even like an artist touch to kind of make it more interesting. Say like David Lynch did with Twin Peaks. There's like a touch of both-sidedness to it, which, fine. You can make fun of, the lack of empathy and selfishness of the right and the self-righteousness of the far left. But on this movie, it's like everyone's crazy and everyone's an asshole, which makes it kind of like misery porn. What am I supposed to do with that? And what's with Joaquin Phoenix playing the most miserably pathetic guy in every movie lately? I don't know, like 2.5 hours of this, I was not a fan of this. So overall, I would give Edington a 1.5 out of 5. I just didn't like this movie. It's just too long, has nothing to say, and it's just like misery. Maybe I'll look at it in a different light a few years from now, but man, this is just a slog. And there was potential in something like this. It's just, I think he failed at every level. Ari Aster now kind of seems like a guy who's high on his own supply. And by that, I mean probably sniffing his own farts.
Can you believe all these imbeciles in Texas? They just put another prisoner to death.
And I can say now, I'm just hesitant on watching this guy's movies going forward. Hereditary was one of my favorite movies from last decade, and he's coming off as a one-hit wonder. Similar to Damien Chazelle from Whiplash. Whiplash was my #1 movie from last decade, but I don't think he's ever going to reach that height again. But what did you think of Edington? What do you think of Ari Aster as a director? Let me know down in the comments below. Was I just too rough on this movie? Am I too rough on him? I don't know. This is just how I feel. It definitely is like a hard subject to take on so early and so soon after it happened. But it just didn't seem like much effort was put into any of the themes or anything of this. It was just flat. Make sure to appease the algorithm, guys. Give this video a like. If you like this review, maybe subscribe as well. We got plenty of reviews. I come out with multiple videos weekly. I actually did have tickets to see this in the theater a few weeks ago with some friends, and then everyone just kept canceling. And then like my wife ended up canceling too, so I just canceled. And I'm kind of glad I did not see this in the theater. Holy shit. I don't think anyone would have been happy. I mean, I'm just taking a guess though. I wouldn't have been sitting 2.5 hours, probably 3 hours with the trailers, and it's coming out with this. No way. But yeah, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you later. Bye.